Hey Rockstars, welcome in. It's Sunday, June the 19th, 2022. It is Father's Day, and of course, tomorrow the post office shipping and everything is closed. It is a federal holiday called Juneteenth, which was actually just approved, I believe, just last year. So you don't have to worry about shipping tomorrow. I believe the banks will be closed. Normal federal holiday stuff is closed. UPS and FedEx, you'll have to check, because sometimes on some of these holidays they run and sometimes they don't. They're off like 3 days a year, like literally Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving is like the only days they're off. So check on all that, but definitely the USPS and the banks are closed tomorrow for Juneteenth. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, whether you're a reseller or a business person, entrepreneur, somebody who's watching this channel, and fathers of all different kinds, whether you're father, stepfather, you know, the whole shebang. With that being said, today being Father's Day and tomorrow a holiday and everything going on, you should be running a sale on all of your platforms. If you're not, hurry up, run to your computer and turn on a sale. Doesn't matter if it's Memorial Day or Labor Day or President's Day or Christmas or Black Friday or Prime Day or Juneteenth or Father's Day, Mother's Day, whatever it is. If there's something going on, which is almost every month in this country, for my American viewers, you should run sales on those weekends. You should have ran a sale from Friday to Monday, which is usually the most effective. I start them running like Friday mornings, and they'll run through like late Sunday night or early Monday morning, and you'll get more sales. And the point of this video, in addition to letting you guys know that, is some of the best ways to combat all of this slow sales things. And a lot of you were messaging and posting in Facebook groups that, great, we're already having slow sales, and now with the eBay promoted listing change, a lot of you are going to cease doing promoted listings because you're now required to do 2% or higher, which I will go ahead and put down below the link to that video if you missed it. But now you're like, wow, Casey, what do we do now? We don't have promoted listings, or I refuse to do any more promoted listings, or go higher, or et cetera, et cetera. Well, obviously running sales is one of the best ways to combat it. And let me tell you why I almost think it's better than promoted listings. When you increase your percentage to promoted listings, the buyer, the potential buyer, does not see that. eBay is supposed to put it out to more buyers, which is great. But when you increase your sale amount, instead of doing a 10% sale, let's say that you do a 15 or a 20% sale, the buyer that's seeing that is like, wow, I'm getting a really great deal. I'm getting a much better price on this, at least mentally. Whether they actually are or not, who knows? And because your price is then a little bit lower than what it normally would have been, of course, it's going to come up higher when they do, searches for lowest price first, and they start scrolling, you'll be closer to the top. So all positives of running a sale, a markdown sale, on eBay at least. With other platforms, you have to do it a little differently, of course. But that is my theory on that. Also, today, I took a poll in my Facebook group. You guys know there's 120 some odd thousand people in the Facebook group. I did just put the poll up like 30 minutes ago, but I put up there to ask anybody who does $10,000 or more per month on eBay or combined platforms, what categories they sell the majority of, whether it's clothing, antiques, electronics, books, collectibles, toys, games, video games, all that. I put them all as a poll option. There's like 10 different categories. And it's actually interesting, the results of that poll. So I expect that a majority of people that watch this channel or are a part of that group are clothing sellers. But most clothing sellers do not do more than $10,000 a month. That's $120,000 a year. Gross sales, mind you. Not worried about the profit right now, not at this time, but gross sales. A majority of the sellers in my group and on other things are not doing six figures plus in sales. They're just not. It's just not often, because we have a ton of hobby sellers, a ton of part-time sellers. We have a ton of people who don't sell clothing. We have a ton of people who do $5,000 or $6,000 a month. They do decently well. They just don't hit that 10,000. It takes a lot to get to 10,000, a lot of consistency. So I expected a lot of the sellers to be electronics, toys, collectibles, and we do have quite a few of those. But I think you're going to be surprised over the poll results. Let's go take a look at them. Let's thank the sponsor of our channel in today's video, List Perfectly, the best and fastest cross-listing tool for resellers. They'll help you get your inventory in front of 12 platforms in just minutes, including eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Shopify, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, and many others. Thank List Perfectly for the time and effort they've put into bringing you this amazing tool. Save 30% on your first month or upgrading a month with List Perfectly using discount code ROCKSTARLP. I'll put it down in the description box. They do an amazing job. They have an amazing team, and we want to thank List Perfectly for being a sponsor of the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. Okay, so here is the results, and of course you can see my post there. Clothing is at 30%, so a little less than third is clothing. But when you add in shoes, you're at 45%, which puts us almost to half our clothing and shoe sellers. Toys, electronics, and video games, almost 10% each. Not really surprising. Collectibles, the next biggest category at 17%. And the reason that collectibles is so high, 17%, is because a lot of people sell sports cards. They sell Pokemon, Magic the Gathering. They sell Funko Pops. They sell all sorts of stuff along those lines. And, the electronics and video games, we've got DVD combo players, remote control sellers. We have the video game sellers that are obvious, the consoles. We have Switches and PlayStations and whatnot. When we scroll down, we do have some booksellers, some discontinued products, business and industrial, cosmetics, media, mix of DVDs and video games, which is honestly could have just went in the video game DVD section. And 1% is health and beauty. So we have some little odds and ends, but we have a majority, a third almost clothing. And when we add in shoes, almost half. And then we have 17% in collectibles and almost 10% toys, electronics, and video games. So a third in that kind of sector of the people that specialize in video game electronics, and toys put in there. But if we put toys and collectibles together, we have 25%. So you guys can see kind of the three areas where most of your sales are coming from. Clothing, shoe section, from the toy, electronic, video game section, and then from the collectible section. So if you're not selling in those sectors, or you're not, maybe adding in other ones, if you're only doing clothes and you have no shoes, or you're only doing clothes with no collectibles, electronics, perhaps you should start adding some of those items in. If you're an electronic, video game, toy seller, or something along those lines, collectibles and toys, maybe you should start adding some electronics, or maybe you should start looking for some of those rare clothing items. When you go into thrift stores or estate sales, instead of just blowing past those, maybe next time you find that $20 vintage shirt that's worth $100, or a $20 bomber jacket that's worth $100. Maybe it's just something you can peel your eyes for and keep a lookout. You never know what expanding your horizons and thinking outside of the box is going to net you. Even if you just add a couple extra items a week in sales, 5-10 items a week in sales, all of a sudden you're selling an extra 30-40 items a month at a $30-40 sale price. You could start doing $500, $800, $1,000 extra dollars, and eventually expanding that category into something that could do a couple thousand extra a month. So the point is, if you want to sell more and you want to combat all of this slow sales and summer slowdown and inflation and poor economy and screw promoted listings, start adding more categories and more items to your stores. And also think about doing some more markdown sales on every single holiday weekend, every weekend in general, just whenever you can, running those markdown sales. Hopefully this will help you guys out with getting those sales numbers up. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching this, taking a minute. And if you have suggestions for everybody for categories, for sale secrets and tips, like ways that you run your markdown sales, or other things people can do outside of the realm of promoted listings that crushed everyone or that everyone is bailing on, I'm not telling you to bail on promoted listings. I'm telling everyone that they have to do what's right for their business. But if you have other ideas, suggestions, things they can do on eBay or other categories or whatever it is, please leave it down in the comments section below. It will definitely help out your fellow resellers and business owners, entrepreneurs. I'm not saying to give them your sources. I'm not saying to give up all your information. Just if you have some tips and tricks and strategies that people can use to kind of help them, instead of dropping their numbers, come back up with their numbers. I'd really appreciate you leaving it down for them down in the comments section. And with that, I'll leave everyone out to their Father's Day. I appreciate it. I'm going to take my dad out here now. It's middle of the afternoon. And until tomorrow, guys, remember, you don't have to ship. Juneteenth holiday tomorrow, no USPS, and your banks are probably closed as well. So don't forget that when you wake up, put a note or an alarm in your phone. And as always, have a wonderful rest of your night. Hit that like button, guys. It really helps the algorithm. And subscribe to the channel. It'll be down there somewhere. And turn that bell on for notifications. And I'll see everyone next time.